It is day 43 of my fruit fast. Today's themes: the sacred intelligence of the body, femininity, and slowness. The body speaks to us by way of feeling, by way of intuition, by way of sense, the sensuous. The body receives the world. The mind categorizes, discerns, imposes limitations. And it's by bringing mind and body into harmonization that we cultivate freedom within our being. On this 43rd day, my body has been expressing to my mind, to my soul, that enough is enough. This fruit fast, well, it has offered its fruits, has gone on long enough. This body craves meat. This body craves certain nutritional elements which have been missing. And my mind has been trying to impose last little elements of control, like, oh, we could push this fast just a little bit longer to squeeze the juice out, extract from my own body more freedom, which I've already gotten out of this fast. It's like my mind has this obsession with returning to those fasted states where my freedom was breaking free out of my body. And I realize I don't need the fasted state for that. I just need my freedom and my will and my soul and my prayer and God. So that when the time comes, when your body communicates to you quite clearly by way of feeling, intuition, sensation, instinct, there's a time to impose the mental discipline to say, no, right now is a time for mind and control and masculinity. But then there comes a time when surrender and softening and stepping away from the rigid confines of the mind into the body and just allowing the body to be. So I'm in these final moments of this fast where my mind is like trying to test its own strength, its own degree of control, its own discipline. And my body is like, dude, we've done some work. Like, it's time to return, to integrate, to not push, but to sit within some state of normalcy, within some return to nourishment that is complete, It is time to integrate these teachings into a more balanced way of being. Not so hyper-focused on renunciation, on deficiency. Now my mind and my soul and my being, hold on one second. Sunset. My mind and my soul and my being are witnessing within my body these cravings, these communications, demanding meat and eggs. And I am going into those feelings, witnessing the parts which are swinging and oscillating out of deficiency and asking for excess. Being like, all right, we've deprived ourselves of certain nourishment and even certain kinds of pleasure that exist in the food which we've renounced. Let's go right back into like eating 5 steaks and 2 dozen eggs. Not that I ever did that, but excess. Simultaneously, I am just hearing and listening and attuning myself to my body's communication that is simply saying, I would like some meat. Maybe there's this communication that's excessive in its demand, and my mind's role and my soul's role are to discern between the excess and the very reasonable, sacred intelligence of the body's communication that says, all right, it's time now. Enough with your fucking mental discipline. So slowly, as Venus stations retrograde, stations direct, and a Libra full moon invites balance into our lives, I am slowly but surely allowing myself to surrender to the language of my body, to the femininity of my being, to the softening of my being, to the, okay, I can let go of this really hard attachment to renunciation, and I can go back to just being. And carry the balance of Libra into my new relationship to consuming, so that I don't go directly into excess, and I eat in a way that is balanced. This is a balancing of mind and body. If we listen only to the body and to every temptation and to every demand that it makes, sometimes those demands aren't so favorable to our soul's highest fruition. If I listen to the demand to eat 5 pounds of meat, I might get sick. I might throw away a lot of hard work that I did over the past 40 days. Interestingly, I didn't mean to go and talk about all this for that long. Oh my God, look at this. So I'm allowing myself to recognize the urgent demands of my body and to witness them slowly and to move slowly into my softening. As my fast is coming to a close, so too is my stay in Costa Rica, as sad as I am to say so. But the circumstances of my reality are guiding me to San Diego. And this is happening relatively soon, this week. So that there are pulls to make this urgent shift from this like incredibly slow lifestyle that I've been living into the urgent bustle and hustle of the city. And I don't know how I'm going to handle that. I'm, in this moment, absolutely not ready for it. And I have about 6 days of the slowing, softening into being ready for that. And one of my intentions is to bring this balance of Libra with me, because it's a lot easier to be disciplined, to eat healthy, to feel my soul is thriving when I'm here surrounded by nature, by the beach, by absolutely incredible sunsets, by the sacred lands of Costa Rica, by a cozy little home, by a river. This land has held me very well, and I am entering what for me has long been in my life the belly of the beast, the city. And I'm specifically choosing San Diego so that I have access to the ocean. I was thinking San Francisco, where I could also still access the ocean, but with more difficulty. And so this is where the balance will be challenged, where I am releasing this limitation that I've imposed upon myself of eating only fruit, which makes me feel incredibly good. And then I go back to the city where there's all kinds of food options that might try to tempt me into my old ways. And this is where I'm going to be bringing some masculine and mental discipline to create new limitations, new boundaries. I've just spent 43 days purifying my body. I'm going to ensure it remains pure while integrating other nutrition into my body. And here's the other thing. I spoke of femininity and of the body. One of the key lessons that I have learned from this whole journey is the paramount importance of using my mind and my will and my soul to create containers for my feminine essence to flow, for my connection with my heart, for my connection with my feelings, for my connection with love, for my connection with simple being, with whatever is present within me. Saying no to avoidance patterns. Saying no to poison. Saying no to self-limitation that does not serve. And saying yes to softening. To self-love. To self-care. To do it all extremely slowly. Even in the moments of urgency, even in the moments when I'm going to have to go to the farmers markets at certain times, and I won't have as much free time to dive into the depths of my being. There might be moments of rushing. And even if I need to get somewhere rather quickly for some reason, to do it slowly, to do it with deep breaths of presence, to do it with awareness, to do it in a way that is balanced. So, full moons are generally emitting energy rather than receiving energy. They're generally masculine, in that this Libra energy is like coming out and we are harvesting the fruits of this moon. But here, nevertheless, I'm working with these Libra energies to plant this intention to walk with balance between excess and deficiency, the principle of the golden mean that Aristotle spoke of. Yeah, so that's a bit of what's been alive. There's been way more alive, but for some reason it's not flowing through right now. It'll flow through eventually. For now, it's a process of slow letting go and walking off the cliff yet again, as I've been doing over and over, into something of a mystery, but also needing to invoke my willpower even more strongly. And I feel myself, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, I feel myself going to San Diego in this chapter of like, here I am, radiating luminosity, emanating light, needing to protect myself against what is not this, like this pure, raw, wild nature. And looking for that within myself. And shining in a way that melts all of the frequencies that will try to suppress. So we'll see. And I will keep posting I'd be really, really grateful, and I would feel very empowered if I was able to put down this script that cities suppress my essence so much that when I'm in a city, I lose myself a little bit, and I feel like I can't breathe. So, the intention is to bring this slow, sovereign energy, this deep presence in my body, in my feminine essence, in reverence of my heart, always holding and guarding and protecting my heart, and letting the heart shine so brightly that the luminosity heals. And to slowly carry that into the next steps of my journey, which feel like they're coming a little bit too soon, but which nevertheless must come until the next journey shows up, and the next, and the next, and the next. My words feel a little bit incomplete. I feel like I had a million more things to say, which I just couldn't conjure. So I just trust we got some hooligans who want to be featured. I just trust that what will need to come through will come through in divine timing. So I'm pretty ready to put down this fast. And I'm going to point out one more thing. Sometimes updating on the fasting felt like it got in the way of more philosophical explorations that I wanted to get into. And I feel like that's happened this whole video. So now as I'm putting down the fast, I will, in a way that is less inhibited, dive into the philosophical depths and the metaphysical depths. Though I've been doing it the entire time. Yeah. I'm just rambling at this point. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Blessings to you all. Goodbye, and much love. Pew.